Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagwan ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai. Hare Krishna. So today we're having a Bhagavad Gita class, and the verse is chapter 4, text 11, and you can find this on vedabase.com if you don't have a Bhagavad Gita with you. Thank you. And yeah, this. So I'll just read the Sanskrit, and maybe Prabhu can repeat afterwards. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tatheva bhajamyaham mama vartmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tatheva bhajamyaham mama vartmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashaha. So if you'd like to repeat, you can. Ye yatha mam prapadyante Tang satheva bhajamyam mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. So just the word for word translation of the verse. So ye, all who, yatha, as, mam, unto me, prapadyante, surrender, tan, them, tatha, so, eva, certainly, bhajami, reward, aham, I, mama, my, vartma, path, anuvartante, follow, manushyaha, all men, partha, O son of Pritha, sarvashaha, in all respects. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Second, I forgot to say pranams to Krishna. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So let's read the translation again. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. Purport. Everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence and as the all-pervading Supersoul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally, according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotee, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are given again a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruitive workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as the Yagyeshwara, and those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone, and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect, as is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether one is without desire, the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should, with all efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Thanks for coming for the class. I'm not qualified to speak on the Bhagavad Gita. I don't have many realizations, but so hopefully by mercy of Srila Prabhupada I can share something that might be useful for you, useful for your, just in general, and also for my own purification. Yes, so Hare Krishna. So in the first sentence here, Prabhupada says, everyone is searching for Krishna. Yes, everyone is looking for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. And you can see that Krishna, one of his manifestations, one of his energies is actually this universe that we live in, this cosmos, the material world. And you can see that the materialists, the material people of this world, they are attracted to the material world to gain some form of pleasure in the material world through different varieties of sense gratification. It could be, going to the cinemas, listening to music, going into nature, family, friends, society, different types of activities. And some people even go to the extent of taking drugs, alcohol, intoxication, gambling, for example, to get some form of pleasure in this world. So there's varieties of ways one can stimulate the senses in this world. And Krishna says, actually, because even this universe is a manifestation of his manifestation, he says, this material energy is my divine energy. So you can see there is fragments of Krishna even within this universe, and this is described in chapter 7 a lot, where Krishna explains how he is pervading everywhere within this universe, within the cosmos, like that. So for example, he says, Rasoham apsukunteya prabhashmi shashisuraya prabhava sarva vedeshu shabda ke purusham nishu. So Krishna says, Rasoham apsu, I am the taste of water. Prabhashmi shashisurayesha, I am the light of the sun. Pranava sarva vedeshu, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, he is that, I am that. And Purusham Nishu, I am the ability in man. So at the same time, Krishna is not these things. So Krishna is all pervading in some form like that, but he's also not that. So he's not the universe, but he's the essence of the universe. He's the soul of the universe. So all these qualities that you see within this world, all these experiences, like that, for example, strength, fame, beauty that you see in this world, opulence, these are all actually a manifestation of Krishna within this material world. And furthermore, Krishna goes on to say in 7.11, I am the original fragrance of the earth. I am the heat and fire, the essence of all experiences, the heat and fire. That's Krishna. That's partial manifestation of him. And he says, Jivanam sarva bhutanam, I am also the life of all that lives. So like that. So you can see how Krishna is all pervading in various aspects of this universe. Yet we can also understand that this is not Krishna at the same time. This is the inconceivable nature of Krishna, that he is here, but he's also not here at the same time. This is called Achinta Veda Veda Tattva, inconceivable oneness and difference. Like that. And yes, Krishna is everywhere, but at the same time he says, in 10.41, he says that, know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. And in 10.42 he continues saying, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So all this beauty that we see in this world, all these qualities of the universe are just a spark of the nature of Krishna, like that. And just with a fragment of his being, he's maintaining all of this and allowing all these things to happen. So so we can see that even in this world, you may not be religious, you may not be spiritual, you may not be, you can just be any ordinary person out there and having no idea about God, but still indirectly we are looking for God, we are looking for Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. Krish comes from the word like a magnet. He's attracting everyone like that. And Rama is also, the definition would be the reservoir of all pleasure. So although the materialists or non-religious people are not looking for God, they're still looking for Krishna indirectly, unknowingly, and without even realizing they're looking for Krishna. So the living entity, is it not that everyone in this world is looking for pleasure? Every being in this universe, from an ant all the way to Lord Brahma, to all the different varieties of life within this universe and all the species of life, we can observe that, they're all looking for pleasure and they're all looking to avoid pain. This is the innate conditioning that we have. And it is explained that in the Vedanta Sutras that this is because this is our intrinsic nature. The soul is, Ananda Maya, always seeking for happiness and pleasure. And the original nature of the soul is Satchit Ananda, whereas the nature of the body that we are inhabiting at the moment is Asat, Achit, and Nir Ananda. So Sat means eternal, Chit means full of consciousness, knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss. So this is actually our real potential, our constitutional right that we have access to, but unfortunately, somehow or other, we've been placed in this incompatible situation in this material world where the soul is eternal, but we're made to be living in a temporary situation, or we're full of bliss, but here in the material world, all the happiness that we get is not full of bliss. All the experience is not full of bliss and happiness. So much pain, so many things which are not compatible for the soul's desire, like that. So Krishna is the source of all happiness and pleasure, and however we can see in the world that we're all looking for happiness, but at every step of our search, our pursuit for happiness, there seems to be disappointment and frustration, And it's said that when we look for happiness in the material world, 4 things happen. So you may try to you desire something and you try and get it. Maybe it's a job or some kind of experience you're looking for. So what happens is, you don't, just repeating what Kesha Maharaj said just recently, I watched his Instagram, so just said, so you may be looking for some kind of experience, but you don't actually get it. You may work so hard for this thing, this job or this or that, but you won't actually, there's no guarantee of happiness from getting it. There's no guarantee that you will actually get it. Another thing is, you might get this thing, this dream job that you've been looking for, this dream situation, house, car, etc., money. You might get it, but it doesn't give you the experience that you expected that it will give you. So it leaves you with disappointment, frustration. For example, Jim Carrey, we all know Jim Carrey. He said that, I want everyone in the world to be filthy rich as I am, so that they can realize that money doesn't bring them happiness. Like that. And this is the same with Beatles, George Harrison, John Lennon. They were like, they had everything, but still they were not happy. And George understood that, and he connected with the Krishna consciousness and to find a deeper level of happiness, like that. And another thing that happens is, so you get the thing you're looking for. You might have a good experience, you actually have the experience you're looking for, but the problem is the experience doesn't last much. It's very, transient. It's very short-lasting, like that. And finally, You get the thing you're looking for, it gives you a good experience, it stays, but there's so many negative things attached with it. So many problems, so many other side effects, side effects you may get from it. So ultimately, in the pursuit of our happiness in the material world, we become disappointed and frustrated in that journey. Because the basis of it is that because the soul is looking for something unlimited, but the pleasures of this world are very limited. And yes, even like the most in Chant and Be Happy, the book Conversation with George Harrison and John Lennon, this in the introduction in Our Search for Happiness, it talks about how even the most fundamental things we rely on for our happiness, like eating and sex pleasure in the material world, even that has limits. How much can you eat? Or how much can you engage in those other activities? There's a limit. You can't. And that's supposed to be the climax of material enjoyment, which you can't even really experience, Which won't satiate you, which won't nourish the hankering, that desire that we have. It still doesn't fulfill that. So, and even with drugs, right? Intoxication, drinking, drugs. How high can you go? You have to come down eventually. So otherwise, your brain might just get fried out and like that. So there's a limit to how much you can engage in material activities and to get some form of happiness. One sec. So what we're looking for is eternal happiness, knowledge, and bliss, which is not available in this world. So what we're looking for is, Prabhupada explains in one of the purports in his verse that the material world can only give you a drop, but can a drop satisfy a desert? No. Nowhere even near, nothing. It doesn't mean anything, a drop. So the material happiness that we look for in this world is only compared to a drop to what we can actually experience, what the soul is actually capable of experiencing. A drop of happiness can't quench your thirst. A starving person, like we're so malnourished spiritually. So a drop of happiness from the material world is not going to feed us, We need spiritual substance, we need spiritual food. And not dessert, but, like desert. Yeah, we're in a material desert. And so what use is a drop when we're really malnourished, when we really need something more to life? And when we can experience an oasis, and when we can, why experience this partial enjoyment when you can actually fully satisfy the soul? Why be partially happy? Why, when you can go fully have that experience? This enjoyment can be achieved to the degree we connect to the absolute truth, to the degree we connect to Krishna. So if we fully are connected to Krishna, then we can fully experience that. But if we're maybe 50% connected to Krishna, then we will only experience 50%. Or if we're 10%, 20%, 30%, like that. So therefore in the verse Krishna says, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So if we surrender 10%, then Krishna will give us 10% because he's looking at our desire, how much. He's not going to go against our desire. If we want him 10%, then he will give us 10%, like that. So there's many different degrees of realizing the absolute truth, which is through, obviously one aspect I mentioned was through the material world, there's aspect of Krishna, even reflected within this world. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagwan ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Like that. So there's different degrees of realization one can achieve through the universal manifestation, and also there's higher, beyond the material world, you can also experience something called the Brahman, which is the spiritual effulgence rays that's all pervading within this universe. So many yogis try to experience this Brahman, which is beyond the material world, this non-material substance which one can access. Is there, and it's spiritual, and there you get some material relief from this. But even that is said not to be the full realization of Krishna, because that Brahman effulgence, the spiritual rays, they're coming from the body of Krishna, and there's not the personal aspect of Krishna there. One second. And because Krishna is a person, and ultimately the soul is not just some kind of energy, there is a person. The soul is a person, is sentient, is conscious. It won't be satisfied just by experiencing some supernatural energy, at least not fully satisfied. There will be some transcendental pleasure you can derive from it, but that's also compared to a drop of pleasure, drop of happiness when you actually see Krishna face to face, when you actually have that experience with Krishna in this original full manifestation, full nature, like that. And obviously higher than Brahman is Paramatma, where you can connect with the Supreme Lord within the heart and within all beings, like that. But even in that there is some form of limitation. Yeah, you can follow the instructions of Krishna, you can listen to Krishna, what he wants to hear from you. But it's still that rasa might not be there, that mellow of experiencing friendship, servitude, different rasas, different types of relationship you can experience with Krishna, like that. So from this as well, we can see that there are. It's not that any spiritual path you follow is going to lead to the same goal. This is a common thing, right? You hear, whatever you do, it's all the same, it all goes to the same thing, you all get the same thing. Like that, all rivers flow to the same ocean, like that. It's true in one sense, that all paths do lead to Krishna in some way, but there's still different gradations of which aspect of Krishna you relate to, you can achieve, So, in that way, you can see that, not all paths lead to the same goal. They may lead to some different angle of that object, like that. So like that, we can also see that there's many different paths within this. There's many spiritual paths, even within the Vedic tradition, there's the Brahmavadis who are looking for Brahman. There's the impersonalist Mayavadis who want to negate their material identity and just become nothing, or commit spiritual suicide, as Prabhupada said earlier. So even this is granted by Krishna by allowing them to be merged into his Brahman effulgence, like that, because that's the closest thing one can get to that void existence, right? So, but there's no void in the creation. Doesn't exist. So the closest thing a Mayavadi may come to is the Brahman realization, like that. And Krishna will give you what you want, like he rewards you accordingly, like he says, depending on the level you surrender to him. So if you surrender to him 10%, And Krishna, like you can see, there's many different paths for different degrees of realizations. There are some paths that allow you to experience 10% of God realization, or 20 or 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20. There's a variety of different spiritual paths within this world, many different religions. And Krishna gives you that, whatever you're desiring. So if you want to surrender to Him 10%, then yeah, you will be presented with a path that will make it available, so that you realize God only up to 10%. Then when you're ready, you gradually move up. Maybe it takes different lives, different times, like that. And yeah. And yeah, Krishna consciousness is explained. So this knowledge that we have, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually allows you to have allows you to have 100% surrender to Krishna, because it doesn't just give you a vague understanding of who God is. God is just being a supreme being, a position or a role, but a really personal approach where you can really intimately have a connection and a relationship with God, a very personal one, and like that. So it gives you access to that highest form of yoga you can have, and so that door is open for all of us. We have that opportunity to access all this, because we have been presented with the highest philosophy, the deepest philosophy. Yeah, so other faiths are also perfect in their own right. They also help you to develop love for God. That's perfection as well. But one Krishna consciousness allows you to know God on a much more personal level. Yeah, like that. And also allow you to uncover your relationship with Krishna. If according to the degree we surrender to Krishna's path, like that. And yeah, so. And yeah, and the Prabhupada says that all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. So there are different degrees of success, but they're not complete success. They may be partial realizations or like that, but they don't give you the full experience, I guess, like that. And so it's still imperfect. So yes, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita gives you access to that perfection of yoga. So, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Hare Krishna Jagannath Prabhu.
So why do you think we have so much resistance to fully surrender to Krishna? Like intellectually, like we can understand, it makes sense to us that this is the goal. Why could we not do it? Depending on multiple answers.
So why do we have that resistance to surrender to Krishna, even though we may know it philosophically? That. One thing that comes to mind is that we are conditioned, Yeah, we are, Krishna says, we are eternal fragmental parts of Him, but we are still struggling so hard with the mind, and we are being, just one of the things that comes to mind is that, we're very conditioned in this material world for many, many lifetimes. Since time immemorial, Prabhupada says like that, we've been fighting so hard, struggling for existence in Maya, like that. So we have a lot of baggage that are covering the pure desire of the soul to actually be in full, to really like flow with the Lord's desires. We have so many of our own contamination and our own contaminated desires that we want to, the ego is there very strong, like that. So how much are we ready to surrender to the flow of the Lord's desires? So there's a lot of things from our side that's blocking it. And the process for obviously doing that is chanting Hare Krishna, Mahamantra, which, and yeah, like that, it clears off all these anarthas eventually under the guidance of spiritual master. Yeah, so is that okay? So yeah, Maya, because we're in Maya, that's, that's why. Yeah. Any other questions or comments or criticisms or corrections?
Comment about the answer you just gave from the Bhagavad Gita, which 7:14, purport of that, all about how we are bound from material nature.
Right.
Very hard to let go of this.
Whoa.
Because it's basically everything we know. And what we really know is beyond our experience. So we're supposed to give up what we know and what we love, and accept something which is beyond our ability to comprehend. So this is a very hard thing to do. And again, in that verse it says, Harinama, 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 Kevalam, Yoga Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Bhakti.
Yes. Very nice. So I'll just try to repeat what he said for online viewers. Yeah, 7:14, Prabhu mentioned something related to why we have so much resistance within this material world is because so we're so coated with material understanding and knowledges for so long like that, and it's a struggle to actually get rid of all this. And in the purport to 7:14, Prabhupada says, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. So the only way is to develop love for God. The only way to develop love for God in this age is to chant the names of the Lord. So Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna. So this way we can have we can hear Krishna. We may not be able to see Krishna, but we depend too much on seeing Krishna. So what about the other experiences of Krishna we can have? We can hear Krishna like that. We can taste Krishna by having prasadam. And like that, so we can hear the holy names to purify ourselves. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Any other questions, comments? Correction.
Just comment related to this.
Okay. Yeah.
I find it interesting that in like 4.9 actually, the previous verses, it says that one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode or content. So from what I understand is that if we get to know Krishna, we get liberated. But in a sense, we cannot really know him fully because it's unlimited and it's like this inconceivable and mysterious aspect of him also. And which is, from what I understand from the conversation, is what we resist the most is actually like this. That's this. At some point, there's just going to be something that we just cannot grasp. So I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, I understand you're saying that, and 4.9 it says how understanding Krishna's transcendental appearance and disappearance helps us to be free from the material world and never take birth here again. So how does it help us to be more surrendered?
We cannot know him fully because there's this inconceivable aspect of him.
Yeah, so it said, I think in the purport, Prabhupada said how devotees actually have full realization of Krishna. So to know Krishna, it doesn't seem to be about intellectually understanding him, but actually Krishna can only be understood by devotion, love and devotion. So this is what... and Krishna reciprocates according to our love and devotion. So it is actually through that medium which we can actually understand Krishna, not through some intellectual adjustment or because intellectually there's no way we can't even understand this world. What is, so yeah, so I think Prabhupada is saying that, like how devotees can, to know where it was exactly. Devotees have full realization, can fully realize Krishna. Yeah. Somewhere he said that. So yeah, devotion can help us to understand Krishna. That. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Questions? Yeah.
Krishna says,
Just surrender unto me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you can get rid of all the previous things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just surrender to me, like completely heart and soul.
Mm.
Then he will take care of you.
Just surrender to Krishna, then he will take care of all our sinful reactions. Do not fear. Okay. Nice. Okay. I think we can conclude the Bhagavad Gita class here. Yes, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai.
सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री गौरताय भगवान की, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जयो जय गौरचंद्रे आरती कशोभा। शिव जयो जय गौरचंद्रे आरती कशोभा।
Hare
Gauravani Pracharine Nirveshesa Sunyavati Vachyacha Chacharine लक्ष्मण हनुमान के, जय श्री गौनिताय भगवान के, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद के, भक्ति वेदांत समय धाम के, जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत शिष्य डिवाइन ग्रेस अभाचरविंदम भक्ति वेदांत घोषम महाराज प्रभुपाद के, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद के, नामचार्य श्री हरिदास को के, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद के, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन के, श्री वृंदावन धाम के, श्री वासन धाम के, श्री रावल धाम के, श्री अयोध्या धाम के, श्री नीलचल चंद्र धाम के, श्री नवद्वीप धाम के, गंगा जमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी के, सामवेद भक्तवृंद के, नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे. Tomorrow is Srimati Radharani's birthday. To get Krishna's blessing, we must get Radha's blessing. So everyone, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. One more time, put all your love, put all your prayer, put all your might in it. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga August Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow, as I was explaining, we have the beautiful festival of Srimati Radharani's appearance. Srimati Radharani ki Jai! She appeared in Raval, and then when she appeared, her eyes were closed. The only time the eyes opened when Krishna came over, and when she showed Sham, Haribo! Radharani didn't want to see anything except for the beautiful face of Sham. So tomorrow we'll be celebrating that, so please all come and join us from 4:30 in the morning. Who's coming 4:30? I'm not. But you're all invited to come right until 10 o'clock at night. Bhajan, Kirtan, Abhishek, and of course there'll be beautiful prasadam. We're going to sing a bhajan to Nrsingadev, who is a protector of Bhakti. Please join in. Take blessings of Krishna and Radharani. The curtains will close in a few minutes, and we'll serve Mahaprasadam afterwards.
Namaste Narasimhaya. भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, निताई गौर परमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।
Yes, hopefully Mangalanki, otherwise 7 o'clock.
I'll be here. I'm going to sing here. Oh, hello.
I can't isa.